Okay, so let's fucking do this. Alright, so this is going to be kind of a do-over of my last video, which, as you can see from the title, is going to be how to install IMVU on Linux Ubuntu 12.04. I'm redoing it just because I personally don't like how my last video came out. I'm using a screen recording program called Record It Now. It's a Linux program. I haven't really done a lot of poking around into which programs are best for that. Just haven't taken the time for it, and this one is just one that I grabbed and started using. I have to say though, it's probably one of the shittiest ones I've used too. Here's the biggest thing that pisses me off is when I hit the pause recording button. The retarded ass programmers who made this thought, hey, it'd be a good idea if when they hit pause, if it pauses the video part but keeps the audio part going. That way their video and their audio is all out of whack because the video's way ahead of the audio once it's on pause. That's great. Fucking. I don't know who thought that would be a good idea or who overlooked that, but if anybody who happens to be involved in the creating or um, design of the Record It Now software happens to be listening to this, you're fucking morons. Okay, just even for a free program, it's fucking garbage. So just thought I'd let you know. Anyway, I digress. We're redoing this, so let's get right into it. Again now, as I said in my other video, before you install anything on your Ubuntu computer, make sure you've already gone into the update manager or, and installed all the updates. Make sure your system's up to date. If you haven't done that, if you prefer to use a terminal, you know how to do it through there. Sudo apt-get install updates. Make sure your system is completely up to date and all your updates and everything are installed. All your Linux restricted drivers like your video card drivers and things like that are installed. All that good jazz. You're also going to want to make sure that you have downloaded a few necessary programs. You're going to need Winetricks, you're going to need Wine Windows Program Loader, and you're going to need Play on Linux. So make sure you install all of those. You can find them in the you can find them in the Ubuntu Software Center. So let's get right into how to actually do the downloading here. So you just simply go to imvu.com /sign up /download, or just go to imvu.com, find the download icon. It'll take you to the download page here. So click download IMVU now. And there we go. From there, you're going to want to right click on the icon. Do not left click, but right click. Then left click on show in folder. And then what you will see is this little icon here. You can see two of them because I've already installed it, but I'm going to be going with this one so you can see the whole process. So what you're going to want to do is right click on that icon, go down to properties, and then from here you can see where it says basic permissions and open with. You're going to want to click where it says permissions, so get in the permissions tab. And then down here, second item up from the bottom, you're going to see where it says execute, allow executing file as program. Go ahead and put a check mark in that box because it needs to be executable, otherwise it will not work. So make absolutely certain that you remember to follow this step. You need to do that, otherwise you will fail. Once you've gotten that part done, go ahead and right click on it again, and it should have, like with what you're seeing here, it should have open with Wine Windows Program Loader as the very first option. If for whatever reason it's not showing that, hover over open with. Wine Windows Program Loader should be showing up as one of these options. If it's not, click on other applications and it should be showing up in these options here. If for whatever reason it's not showing up here, just go down to show other applications and then pull it from its listing here. It's all done alphabetically. So if it's not showing up either right on the original right click menu or when you hover over open with, or when you actually open with another application, then it'll be under the, so just follow those steps. It's pretty simple. Anyways, so I'm going to open this with Wine Windows Program Loader. So as you can see, we can see the IMVU installer setup installing from here. Now, this is where I hit the pause button last time I was recording because I thought it would pause everything, and instead you just had the video paused and then resuming from where I unpaused it, and then you just had recording of me sitting there listening to me eating a slice of pizza. Lucky you. So, I'm not going to bother hitting pause now because I don't want to fuck this up. So, you'll just have to deal with sitting here bored listening to me rambling or drinking while this is downloading. Ah, that's a good burn. Anyway, while that finishes downloading, I do want to point out really quick. Since last night, I did attempt to install it in Ubuntu as well. I actually installed Ubuntu on a virtual box through VMware here. And where did VMware go? It's here somewhere. Quake Terminal, VMware. Okay. Well, I'm not lying. It's in here somewhere. VMware. There it is. VMware. I'm not going to do it right now because it's not really part of this video. But I did install a virtual terminal box, a virtual machine of Ubuntu, and installed IMVU through that. I did it through Winetricks. Now, I do want to say, though, if you're going to be running Ubuntu through a virtual machine, through VMware Player, be forewarned, it is excruciatingly slow. I mean, we're talking fucking slow. When I pulled up the Ubuntu Software Center and clicked install to install Winetricks, I literally clicked install, went and gathered together my laundry, went down to the laundry room, started a load of laundry, then drove out to get myself something to eat, came back, and it was only half done. So, be forewarned there. If you're going to run it on a virtual machine, it's going to be kind of slow. Um, what I'll probably do is I'll probably record a video of me installing it on Ubuntu and probably Lubuntu and Kubuntu on another video. So, yeah. Anyways, we're done here as far as the installation process goes. I'm sure if you've been paying attention to the screen, which if you're not, you're off flitting around and listening and doing other things, fuck you, you can't necessarily learn if you're not paying attention, so get your ass back over here, rewind, and pay attention. Um, so as you can see, it's done. I don't install all this extra shit because fuck that. So you just click finish. There you go. You're ready to go. Um, Now, as far as its functionality goes, I'll log in here in a minute. So, before I log in, I also mentioned in the other video that you can have multiple IMVU clients running at the same time. So, there's a couple of ways to do this. The first way is by using Winetricks. Now, I'm going to use Winetricks to do the second client because this is also another way that you can install IMVU to begin with, period. So that way it kind of kills two birds with one stone. It shows you both ways of installing IMVU, and it shows you how to get two clients going at the same time. So you select Install a Game, click OK, scroll down to where it says IMVU, go ahead and click OK again. Now, don't worry about this stuff because, I mean, it's a couple of bugs. Does have a little bit of an impact on the performance. Nothing really that I've noticed, but it will still install and will still function. So, of course, click next. I've read and accept the terms and conditions. Click next. These are plain and simple things that you should be able to figure out by yourself. If you're like, I don't know what to do. It has a little icon for me to click to accept and a cancel and an X button. If you can't figure that part out, then you're fucking retarded and need to turn the computer off and walk away because, I mean, this is stuff that Windows users can figure out for fucking crying out loud. So anyway, click finish. I mean, just fucking follow the, like I said before, follow the bouncing ball. It's pretty fucking simple. Anyway, let's see here. So it's just saying a basic root file was not found, but it's not anything that, in, from what I've noticed, affects the performance of the IMVU programming. So don't get freaked out by those, pardon me, warning prompts. Just click OK and keep going. Because, like I've said, I've ran the program on both. I haven't come across any significant issues. So we're waiting for it to finish installing. And while we're waiting, let me just tell you how much I really love my ego pass through here that I'm actually vaping on right now. Just because it's better than silence and fuck you, this is my show anyway. But right now, I'm actually vaping on a Ego 600. It's a 600 mAh, battery, but it's a pass through. So I mean, the battery itself doesn't really so much matter. It's connected via pass through USB. But yeah, it's a pass through, which means it's got an electrical cord that's plugged into the wall, so it's got a constant source of energy or a source of electricity. And I have on it a DC tank with Dr. Pepper flavored e-liquid, and it's just awesome. Anyway, so as you can see, now we have two clients. I'll go ahead and show the how you can go beyond two clients before I go signing in. Just because I want to make sure I have all my ducks in a row. This is where Play on Linux comes into play. So, come on. There we go. Next. 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 Install IMVU. Now this is where we're going to be kind of working a little bit of a glitch. Install program in a new virtual. So here, you're going to want to select install program in a new virtual drive. On this one, we'll call this IMVU 1. Then hit next. Use another version of Wine. Hit next. Go ahead and click System. Then it'll start this process. Then from here, where it'll ask you to select the install file to run. Sorry, I'm slurring a bit. Go ahead and click Browse. And what I typically do is I'll go down to Downloads, and then I'll just select one of the IMVU installations. So again, go to Downloads, click Install IMVU, hit Open, then hit Next. Now, it'll start a whole nother install. At this point, you don't really need Play on Linux anymore, so you can go ahead and hit Cancel on that one. I think you still need this window open though. Let me see here. Close. Nope, you don't need that window either. So as you'll see, it'll install this one here. By the way, another product plug, even though you can't see it. Spokane Super Sauce, blueberry flavored e-liquid. Fucking best shit ever. I highly recommend going to www.spokaneecigs.com if you're a smoker or a vapor, and checking out some of their flavors. They actually have the best e-liquid that I've had so far. When I got my Ego Pass Through, I got it from this place called the Vapor Lounge, and I got some of their liquid while I was there. They gave me a free bottle of some of their liquids. They gave me their formula of Dr. Pepper and their formula of spearmint, which their spearmint didn't taste like fucking anything. I actually literally had to pour half the spearmint bottle out into another dripper bottle and then add in some vegetable glycerin and some spearmint oil. So basically, all I got was a little bit of PG to cut the flavoring with, and their Dr. Pepper liquid just tastes like shit. It's terrible. So I'm not fond of that stuff. But when it comes to quality e-liquid, Spokane e-cigs, Spokane Super Sauce is good stuff. Their blueberry is fucking awesome. Again, this is not a paid plug or anything. I'm just filling time and talking about shit that happens to be on my desktop. So click finish, and there we go. There's client window number 3. If you want to have a fourth one, repeat the same process. Play on Linux, install IMVU, click install a non-listed program, next, install program on a new virtual drive, next, use another version of Wine, next, click where it says system, next, browse, downloads, install IMVU, open, next. Then from here, go ahead and close that out. So basically, you're using Play on Linux to start the process, but it doesn't do a complete install through Play on Linux because once it's triggered, it then becomes its own process. So you can then kill the Play on Linux process and the IMVU install will continue. Okay, so while that's installing, let's go ahead and log in. So we got that one. Let's move this one over to this window. No, I don't need it full screen, thank you. Okay, so apparently the one that I downloaded with Wine Tricks isn't working right. Alright. But as you can see, that one's working just fine. Dress up. There we go. But again, you can see right there as well why I say I prefer to use Wine Windows Program Loader versus Wine Tricks, because Wine Tricks can be kind of wonky like that. It hasn't done that before, but as you can see, it's done that now. So go. Here's a third one. Again, I don't need that full screen. Let's see if we can get the Wine Tricks one working properly. So, what we're going to do is select IMVU. Now, this is how you fix it if it's not working properly. Oh, looks like that one crashed. So it looks like it's attempting to come back up. See, yeah, so if you do it through Wine Tricks, in this case, it looks like it's got a crappy install, so it's just going to keep crashing. So what we're going to want to do is remove IMVU. So you just select the virtual file for that, then go down here, delete all data and applications inside. Okay. Now, that's not going to affect the IMVU applications downloaded through Wine Windows Program Loader, just the one downloaded through Wine Tricks. So then we bring Wine Tricks back up, install a game. Okay. Okay. Wonder how long I've been recording this. It's probably been going a while. Let's see if we can get it working this time. If not, then oh well. My advice from there would just be don't use Wine Tricks to install IMVU. Same goes for using Q4 Wine. In some distros, you'll see when the default Wine plugins are going to be Q4 Wine. Problem with that is with Q4 Wine, it is basically a advanced version of Wine Tricks. It's Wine Tricks with a filing system shell, for lack of a better word, built around it. And the problem I ran into with that is when I tried installing a program through Q4 Wine, it didn't even get that far. As soon as the installer setup window popped up, it immediately popped up and then vanished. And then everything was gone. So I don't really recommend using Q4 Wine at all. If you don't know what that is, basically it'll say Q4 Wine, or it'll have a little slightly tipped wine glass with green colored wine in it. Avoid that one. But Wine Browser, of course, Wine Windows Program Loader, those are good ones to go with. Wine Tricks can be sketchy. It depends on the distro. It does run better, I've noticed, on Zorin 6.2 than it does on Ubuntu. It's just how it is. But, I mean, fucking any port in a storm. If you're using a Debian distro of Linux, like Peppermint or something, or, you're using something like Crunchbang, or anything that's a different variation of Linux, maybe a Fedora-based one, or a Mandriva, something like that. If you can get Wine Tricks and that's all you can get, then try to see if you can get it to work with that. Yep, see, we're not going to get the, we're not going to, yeah, hang on here. Yeah, since it's missing that root C plus file, it's just not going to function. It's got nothing to build on. So, scrap that. If you want to get a fourth one, just fucking keep using the trick I showed you with using Play on Linux and Wine Windows Program Loader. So let's see how well they work. Let's go ahead and invite. by name,